Hello, it's Bobbie-Jo Pritchard and this is Live in the Living Room.
You can put your faith in a pipe dream, jalapeno peppers in your ice cream. You can wear the colors of another team, none of that matters to me. Go on and drive your Maserati in the slow lane, catch a tidal wave in a hurricane. You got 27 letters in your last name, it doesn't make a difference to me. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind. If you got a good heart, that's a good start. If you want to be a friend of mine, rich or broke, drink or smoke, to me it's all Pepsi, Coke, whatever floats your boat is fine. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind. You can part your hair like a palm tree, have him eating 3 of your chickpeas. Get yourself stung saving honeybees. Call who you call when you fall on your knees. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind. If you got a good heart, that's a good start. If you want to be a friend of mine, rich or broke, drink or smoke, to me it's all Pepsi, Coke, whatever floats your boat is fine. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind. Some follow the rules, some break them for fun. My kind of people, we only got one. My kind of people are kind. If you got a good heart, that's a good start. If you want to be a friend of mine, rich or broke, drink or smoke, to me it's all Pepsi, Coke, whatever floats your boat is fine. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind. My kind of people are kind people, my kind of people are kind.
Welcome to today's episode of Live in the Living Room. We are here in September. It's been such a great month and we've had so many great artists in today's show. So be sure to stick around with us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss out on any future shows. And as always, be sure to give us a follow on our socials, which are just below. And make sure you follow all of the artists that you get to hear today. Well, we had Maia Sharp with Kind already. Be sure to give Maia a follow. Her socials are just at the bottom here. And coming up right now is the Waymores with But I Don't.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you had a heart, this song would break it, but you don't. I pretend we'll make it.
And if you had ears, you'd hear me aching, but you don't. So I pretend my heart isn't breaking. And being together is like being alone. Ain't much of you left, and I'm mostly gone. One's always right, and one's always wrong. Half of a heart don't make much of a song. And if you had lips, you could turn all my kissing, but you don't. You don't know what you're missing.
If you had ears, you would hear me crying, but you know, you can't hear our love dying. Being together is like being alone. Ain't much of you left, and I'm mostly gone. One's always
always right, one's always wrong. Half of a heart don't make much of a song.
If I had a heart, this song would break it, but I don't. Thank you.
That was the Waymores with But I Don't here on Live in the Living Room. Be sure to give them a follow on their socials. They are just below. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant song that, But I Don't. Coming up right now is Jake O'Neill with Lovin on Me.
I bet she's looking at you with her eyes closed. I know she's only ever thinking of me. Bet you're thinking she's the one you would lie for, die for, only woman who deserves a ring. I bet you're sitting watching her in that sundress, dancing and talking in Tennessee. I bet she's taking you to every place we've been. Let me tell you what I've seen. Yeah, the boots on her feet and the ring on her hand. Where the hell did you think that it all came from? Bet you're thinking your song's the only song she's ever sung. You're probably thinking by now her heart ain't what it used to be. But I guess she's holding on to you while she's loving on me. I wonder if you ever talk about me, if my number's still in her phone. If I call her, would I show on the lock screen? Does she hide it from you at home? All those hearts by my name still there. Does she still hate drinking alone? Yeah, the boots on her feet and the ring on her hand. Where the hell did you think that it all came from? Bet you're thinking your song's the only song she's ever sung, no. You're probably thinking by now her heart ain't where it used to be. But I guess she's holding on to you while she's loving on me. You're loving on me.
That was Jake Neal with Lovin' On Me here on Live in the Living Room. Absolutely brilliant artist. Make sure you give Jake a follow on his socials. They are just below. Now, we've got our Live in the Living Room Gives Back event coming up at the end, well, towards the start of November, end of October. Make sure you are getting your tickets. They are available. We've still got plenty left, so make sure you get yourself to that show. It's going to be such a great event, so many great live artists, and we're raising money for great causes, so make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you head on over to our socials, Live in the Living Room, and which are just below, and get your tickets to the Live in the Living Room Gives Back event. Well, coming next here is the Girl Crush segment, hosted by Jess T.
We are ready for another Girl Crush. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to do a little bit, next few months, I'm going to do things a little differently. This week's Girl Crush is the one and only, commonly known as Voice of the Airwaves. I think that gives a little clue. It is Miss Jess T. Country, who is a stalwart, shall we say, in the music industry. She's a radio presenter who will talk for the world, and she just loves music and is passionate about just damn good music, in fairness. As you know from Live in the Living Room, because she is one of Live in the Living Room's very own Miss Jess T. Country, and she brings her monthly ones to watch to Live in the Living Room every single month. So you know which ones she'll be bringing you this month. She also sings her little wee heart out. And she did so at a Live in the Living Room event because I asked her, which a woman asked her, and it was absolutely amazing. And she hadn't performed for quite a while, and her dad was there. Her dad is fab. Her dad has knowledge of so many amazing artists that have graced the scene many years ago, like Roy Orbison, one of his early gigs. And just the stories he has to tell from that is just incredible too. So I'm girl crushing on Jess T's dad. Yes, that's very appropriate, isn't it? And I was learning her songs to accompany on piano, and there was one that I just couldn't quite get. So I said, Jess, could you sing that a cappella, because you can then just go where you like. And sometimes I think that just one voice and one clear voice was just an amazing moment created in such a venue as the Bedford. You couldn't probably do it anybody else really, and it was incredible. You could hear a pin drop, and it was one of those moments that I was glad I was there for. In fact, I was on the stage, and it was just an incredible moment. And of course, Jess T can chat. She can talk. She will tell you a story and 20 more. And yes, if you're interested, there is a 3-hour long chat about how Jess T got into radio in the first place and what happened, and many more things on Voice of Women's Mixcloud. Jess T chats with Linda C. Or Girl Talk with Jess T, I think it was called. And I think that caused some uproar at the Amelia Quinn camp, because she thought Jess T had spilled the beans on the Girl Talk that she was working on at the time. So it caused a little bit of rumpus, but it wasn't Girl Talk. She hadn't spilled the beans at all. So yes, Jess T is an incredible stalwart, and she's in management, she's in radio presenting, she helps to promote gigs over here from artists here and over in the US with Scarlet River Management, and she just does so much for the whole scene. It is absolutely incredible. So I'm wondering now when Jess T is going to release her own music. This is my head you're seeing now, isn't it? I'm like a floating head. That's quite alright. I digress. Yes, we need to see Jess T coming out with her own music, because she is an absolute stalwart. And doesn't she take a fabulous picture? Who would not want to look like that in pictures? Who would not want to look like that in general? There we go. I think that, ladies and gentlemen, finishes my girl crush for this month. It is Jess T Country. Go and check her out. She's on Country Radio UK. Go and check out Jess T Country. I'm sure all her socials will appear down below, or have appeared down below throughout this. And go and check her out, because she is well worth the checking out, because she knows who you have to check out, musically speaking, and just speaking generally. So there we go. Crushing on Jess T Country this month. And next month, I'm actually going to pick another one behind the scenes. I think we need to pick people behind the scenes to crush on, because they do so much amazing work as well. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you again next month.
And there we go. As I mentioned before, the Live in the Living Room Gives Back is coming very soon, so be sure to get your tickets to the show. It's going to be such a great day, and we're raising money for great causes. We also have the Girl Crush segment with Jess T there. Absolutely brilliant. As always, make sure you give Jess T a follow on socials, as well as everybody else. Now, coming up next is Rett Russell with Ain't One Single Thing in Common.
Baby, when you came to stay, I was saving for a rainy day. But all my cash got turned to hash when you'd gone and went away. When you came back to me, we'd fight and disagree. But you like Hank, I want Merle, it was never meant to be. There ain't one single thing in common that we do. Yeah, you say left, I'd say right, I'd vote red, you're blue. Not one single thing in common, girl, it's true. But after all these years and all these tears, I still love you. Now you're dressing in the best of clothes, Manolas and the finest hose. But I look like trash in my trucker hat. How it works I'll never know. You like champagne and caviar, but I prefer a honky-tonk bar. Yeah, you drink wine, I drink beer. I got a truck, you drive a Jaguar. There ain't one single thing in common that we do. Yeah, you say left, I'd say right, I'd vote red, you're blue. Not one single thing in common, girl, it's true. But after all these years and all these tears, I still love you. Okay, here we go. You're the lady and I'm the tramp. You got the diamonds, I got the stamp. We can't agree on MTV yet, still I want to camp. We've been together for a long, long time, drunk an awful lot of beer and wine. But my every joke goes up in smoke, yet you're always on my mind. There ain't one single thing in common that we do. Yeah, you say left, I'd say right, I'd vote red, you're blue. Not one single thing in common, girl, it's true. But after all these years and all these tears, I still love you. After all these years and all these tears, I still love you.
That was Rett Russell with Ain't One Single Thing in Common here on Live in the Living Room. Absolutely amazing artist. Make sure you give Rett Russell a follow on his socials. They are just below. Well, coming up right now is Brian Collins with Jimson Weed.
In a wasteland, nothing good can grow. Guess I should have known it when I saw her. A flower as pretty as a rose. I never thought I'd know the devil's daughter, and it grew harder to say no. In the shade of night, under a summer sky, I played right into her hands when she drew me in. But I knew right then that I never had a chance. But she called love poison me like Jimson weed. I still hear her whisper in the dark, the promise and the stars that she was leaving. But her eyes were beautiful and sweet, but turned bitter with the changing of the season. Still I find reasons to hold on. In the shade of night, under a summer sky, I played right into her hands when she drew me in. Well, I knew right then that I never had a chance. But she called love poison me like Jimson weed. Still I hold on, still I hold on. In the shade of night, under a summer sky, I played right into her hands. And when she drew me in, oh, I knew right then that I never had a chance. What she called love poison me like Jimson weed.
That was Brian Collins with Jimson Weed here on Live in the Living Room. Absolutely brilliant artist as well. Thank you so much for sending in that song. Just so good. Absolutely loved that. So that was Jimson Weed from Brian Collins. Be sure to give Brian a follow on his socials. His handles are just below. Welcome right now is the amazing part of the show where we get to speak with Kirsty Krause over in Nashville. Here is The Ones to Watch.
All right. It is September. That means it is time to feature 4 new artists here for The Ones to Watch for September on Live in the Living Room's YouTube channel. I am your host, Kirsty Krause. I am actually coming to you from Nashville. We just had a false fall. I'm in between writes today, and this is my interim desk. It's so good to be on here, so good to be featuring 4 new artists. We have videos to share for you. We have their social medias to share with you. And of course, while I'm thinking of it, click the bell, subscribe, get the notifications so you can be a part of all this new content we are pushing out here on the YouTube channel for Live in the Living Room. All right, without further ado, all of these 4 artists have been chosen by the lovely Jess T, my girl over there. And see, I'm getting in the spirit, sporting a scarf over here. But Jess is awesome, and really appreciate everything you do for Live in the Living Room, and also picking these 4 artists for this month. Also, take a look in the description because there's a lot of people behind scenes that help make this platform possible and all of the content that we push out. So we'd love for you to follow them as well. All right, let's get going. Up first, the first artist we are featuring is Danny Joseph. Take a look at the screen. He's originally from London. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. This artist migrated to Texas in 2015, and let me tell you, he has a long history of building up quite a lot of crafts. So we're talking slaying on guitar, massive skills, writing and producing since he was 13. Wow. Loves the blues, soul, and country all in one. His latest release is titled It Was Just Like Yesterday, and there's a video on his website you must check out. So follow him on social media platforms, and also you can follow him at Danny Joseph Official. We have a live performance clip to share with you, so take a look. Here is Danny Joseph. All right, I mean, come on, slaying the guitar, massive skills. That was Danny Joseph. Make sure you check him out on his social media platforms and catch a live show. So that brings us to artist number 2 this month for The Ones to Watch for September. That is Harley Moon Kemp, and you can follow her on Instagram. Check the screen. It's Harley Moon Kemp. She has almost 60,000 followers on Instagram, so make sure you join the train and support this artist. We have such a lovely video to show you today. So she was born in London, and she's the co-founder of Sticker Studios. Check that out as well. She grew up in a quite famous family just around music. Her mom, Shirley Holliman, was a former backup singer for the group Wham. And her dad, Martin Kemp, was in an 80s band, Spandau Ballet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope I am. He's also an actor. Now, her new song, Fast Forward, came out in July, so give that some love. But today, we have a music video to show you, and this song is so heartfelt. I love the theater that it is set in. This song is called She Looks Like Me. Here it is, Harley Moon Kemp.
Can I keep my heart from breaking? Do I watch her even more? 'Cause all she's got me thinking about is how you loved me before. I didn't need to know her name, she didn't have to speak. I can't take my eyes off her, she looks like me.
Oh my gosh, Harley Moon Kemp, what a gorgeous song, and I feel like that is something we can all relate to. Make sure you follow her on the social media platforms. We'd certainly appreciate it. Okay, that brings us to artist number 3. We have Jimson McRae, and she is bringing us a whole bunch of vibes. I feel like I can hear all of her influences. You can follow her on Instagram. Jimson McRae has over 80,000 followers on Instagram. So like I said, join the train. Let's keep it rolling for these artists. She was raised in the suburb of LA. She has a podcast called What Were You Thinking? I love that. I'm gonna have to check that out. She has just chosen to describe her songwriting as, I write songs about mental illness, being brown, and fear. I love that. I love when artists can sum up and know exactly who they are. She has gained prominence after her debut single White Boy in 2019 and Wolves in 2020. Her newest single, Happy Girl, released in 2022. And now we have an absolutely stunning, lovely video of a very hip song called Immune, and this was released in 2021. So take a moment, check out this clip, also check out the full video of Immune. This is Jimson McRae.
What will we say to each other when the needle goes in? What will we be to each other if the world doesn't end?
Holy moly, guys, that video brings me all the feels, and it's so hip. It's so stuff going on right now and a response to what's going on right now, and I just love it. That was Jimson McRae. Please check out her music and follow her, give her some love. Whew, this is fun. This is fun this month. Okay, that brings us to artist number 4 for the ones to watch for September 2023. Yes, we're in fall. Artist number 4, Nick Edwards. Oh my gosh, what a unique voice, family man. Make sure you follow him at, look at the screen, The Real Nick Edwards. That is The Real _ Nick Edwards. That's how you follow him. He was on Britain's Got Talent and was a finalist for season 15. Awesome. And actually a fun fact, his mother and daughters applied him to be on Britain's Got Talent together. So he was actually a surprise contestant. Okay, wow. Can you even imagine? Like, you don't even have time to be nervous because you're just finding out that you have to go audition. He got to the semifinals and sang an original song called Love Is. He's got a brand new EP out right now. It came out in June, and it is called 1960. Oh man, like I said, he's a family man, so he's a proud father to Jack, Cody, Callie, and Savannah. I love that so much. And this song is definitely just about his love for his family and his wife, and it is so adorable. Check out the video here. It is called Into You. Here is Nick Edwards.
And just like the soles on my shoes, like country and blues, like a sweet Sunday morning, you know that I see you like burns on the oven top. For years of a mother's love, the look in your eyes when you know that I see you.
All right, that was Nick Edwards with his song Into You. I love that so much. That is a wrap. Make sure you follow Nick Edwards. Follow all of these artists for this month, for the ones to watch for September. And it's been really fun diving in, learning about these artists, and also being able to share them for you to follow and enjoy this music. We are so much about supporting these artists, so make sure you are too by following them on social media. Like I said, that's a wrap. Month of the September ones to watch. My name is Kirsty Krause, coming to you here from Nashville this month. It's always up in the air of where I'm gonna be here, but I am looking forward to meet some of you in person in 2024. So look for that. But again, thank you for tuning in. Click the bell, subscribe, and that is this month's episode for Ones to Watch for September. Bye, guys.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And there we go, the Ones to Watch segment hosted by Kirsty Krause. Absolutely amazing artist, this Kirsty. Make sure you give her a follow on her socials. Her socials are just below. And as always, make sure you give those Ones to Watch a follow as well. Coming up next here is the amazing artist known as Kaleb Scherer. Now, the great thing about Kaleb is he's becoming our brand new host for the new releases segment here on Live in the Living Room. So coming up right now, we have a song called Drinkin Wrong, as well as a conversation with Kaleb Scherer.
Folks throw back a few, maybe shots or some brew, have themselves a Friday night. They might get a little hazy, nothing too crazy, bunch of friends having a good time. And I wish that I could say the same, but for me that ain't the case. Every time I take a little sip of any kind of liquor, it must be going down the wrong tune. Cause I can clear out my mind and have a good time when the buzz reminds me of you and how I want you back. I do it every now and then. You have moved on. It's got me thinking that I must be drinking wrong. I go walk up alone, drunk, dialing phone, saying, baby, I miss you bad. After only a beer, I'm holding back tears. I can't keep doing that. Every time I take a little sip of any kind of liquor, it must be going down the wrong tune. Cause I can clear out my mind and have a good time when the buzz reminds me of you and how I want you back. I do it every now and then. You ain't moved on. It's got me thinking that I must be drinking wrong. Yeah. Well, I think it's time Every time I take a little sip of any kind of liquor, must be going down the wrong tune. 'Cause I can't clear out my mind and have a good time when the buzz reminds me of you. And how I want you back, I'll do whatever now that you have moved on. It's got me thinking that I must be drinking wrong. Yeah, I must be drinking wrong, yeah.
Hi and welcome to today's chat here on Live in the Living Room. I'm joined by the amazing Kaleb Scherer. Hey Kaleb.
Howdy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just late nights, early mornings for you.
Well, I mean, we're talking currently at almost 6 a.m. my time. It's got to be 11 o'clock your time, so it's
just about midnight.
Oh, midnight. Oh, yeah, it's 6 hours. This is the one thing I always end up getting kind of confused, particularly when we're doing UK to Central Time. It's that whole summertime shift where you lose that hour, you gain that hour, and all of that stuff. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, we got across the US, it's like 5 different, or if you include Hawaii, it's like 8 different time zones. So
insane. I mean,
it's massive.
It's insane how big the United States is. And, talking about like the United States, and we'll talk about artists, and because there's going to be something that you're doing with Live in the Living Room now. You're going to be introducing the new artists. And what kind of things are you looking for in particular when you're choosing, say, new artists to feature on Live in the Living Room, whether it's here over there in the United States or if it's artists over here in the UK?
So it's one thing I like is finding like artists that, especially for me, not having been super traveling abroad in my life. It's cool to see and meet in Nashville. Even you meet guys that are from, like, I met a girl a little bit ago that was from Sweden, I believe, and it's funny because you think of country music as like a fairly American thing, but there's a lot of people out in Europe and just around the whole world that are making really, really great country music, and so it's cool to find those guys that really just kind of spark your ear, that are you won't expect it.
Totally. I mean, particularly doing my kind of shows, the people that I've spoken to, speaking from people from like Norway, Sweden, going across through to Germany, and all over the United States and Canada, and even artists from like India. There's so many different places that you don't think of, like country music, springing up out of, and it's fascinating. It's great to see it, and I love the diversity of it as well.
It's awesome.
In terms of country music itself, I mean, you're an artist yourself as well. I mean, particularly the past couple of days, when I've kind of like got to know yourself and getting to know your music, I've been constantly listening to it, and I've loved your sound. I mean,
thank you.
Buddy in Reno, I mean, particularly, is one of my favorites at the moment. It's there's something there.
Oh, thanks. I got I finally put out last year or earlier this year my first EP that had 4 songs that I had recorded before I moved to Nashville, because I had met my producer, a guy named Johnny Houlihan, who is like my producer, my mentor. He's a songwriter friend that I love, and he's really helped me out. And we got to record those songs when I was still going to college, and we finally got them all out, and now we're getting ready to gearing up to get some of the new post Nashville move music out, and it's awesome to see. I'm glad you like some of those old things.
It genuinely is great, and particularly it's nice to listen to new music as well, and that's one of the things that we get excited about here at Live in the Living Room. Isn't just we don't just go for the big names, we don't go for the big artists. We like to get everybody involved, whether it's
absolutely
different aspects of, say, country music, and to find those artists that you don't normally hear of mixed along with those artists that you regularly get to hear, and it's a nice diverse range, and it's a great part of the show that you're going to be doing with the new artists and new releases.
That's what one thing I've been saying is, you have the artists that you do hear, and then the artists that you should hear.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of like to showcase, is those guys that you might not have heard, but you should, because they're coming.
Exciting. It's an exciting time, and I want to thank you for joining the Live in the Living Room family.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad to be here. It's awesome. I loved being on an episode. Shoot, last year at some point, I don't even remember the exact month, but a while ago. And then when I got invited to join on, I didn't even give it a second thought. I was like, I'm in.
Well, it's amazing to have you. So for all those fans out there, where can we find you on your socials?
So I got my main one would be just Kaleb Scherer Music on Instagram. Most of the websites are that. A few of them, I think we had like someone already had it or something. So, but you can find all of them if you just go to Kaleb Scherer Music or KalebScherer.com, and that's KalebScherer.com, and it will have all the links to all my socials, to my Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer if you use that, all that stuff, and we got like merch and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Well, make sure you go check that out. Thank you so much, Kaleb, for joining us, and
hey, thank you.
To see some of the artists and the songs that appear on your segment.
Absolutely.
All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you all next time.
Well, I was fooling myself, thinking nobody else could ever come between us. I had calloused hands from making.
And that was the chat that I had with Kaleb Scherer here on Live in the Living Room. Absolutely brilliant artist, and he's going to be such a great part of the show with the new releases segment, which is coming up later on. It's going to be so good, so be sure to stick around for that one. Well, be sure to give Kaleb a follow on his socials. His handles, again, are just below. Well, coming next on the show is the amazing part of the show that I love. It's our acoustic guitar learning sessions. It's Live in the Living Room Teachers with Graham Campbell. Here he is with his last lesson on the acoustic guitar.
Hi everybody, welcome to Live in the Living Room Teaches. Now, over the last few months, we've been looking about how to get started playing guitar. We looked at some chords and strumming, how to use a capo, all the stuff you need to get playing your favourite songs. I hope that's been helpful. In this final lesson, we're going to look at some exercises to help you just with the physical aspect of playing the guitar. People often forget that it is a physical instrument. You have to move your fingers, you have to move your hands, you have to coordinate three things at once sometimes, especially if you're singing as well. You have to hit the notes cleanly, move around the neck, that kind of stuff. You have to keep the rhythm going. So I'm going to give you some tips, exercises, that kind of stuff to work on that side, because that is the biggest hurdle that a lot of guitar players face. They get so far and they plateau because they don't work on the physical side of things. They don't get fit, if you like, in their hands. And that can trip you up. So especially when you do things like bar chords and trickier things like that. So without further ado, let me show you a few things. First exercise. Now this just kind of develops the calluses, so that the hard bits on the end of your fingertips, and some independent finger movement as well. Both things extremely useful. So even if you're not playing face-melting guitar solos, if you're just kind of playing through chords and strumming through some songs, it's still helpful. Calluses help you have cleaner notes. It doesn't hurt your fingers as much. You're not pressing as hard on the notes to kind of make them sound. So start at the first fret. So we're just going to start at the first fret on your bottom E string here, and we're going to use one finger for each fret. Okay, so my thumb's just kind of relaxed and just slightly up, so you don't have to do the kind of classical position of a kind of really kind of rigid thumb like this. Just keep it nice and relaxed as you go up. So first finger, first fret, just make sure that's showing up on there, that's fine. And your second fret with your second finger, third fret, third finger, and your little finger on the fourth fret. So try and get those 4 notes sounding really nice and clean. Try and keep relaxed, but put enough pressure on to sound the note. So just make sure you can play them nice and cleanly as you go. Like that, okay. So the next thing is you're going to take the same pattern and move up a string. Now remember, up is down and down is up because it goes by pitch. So I'm really going down, but you know what I mean. Okay, so next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then same again. Next string. And then again. And you're just moving up all 6 strings with those first 4 notes. And then as you get more confident with it, try and keep it relaxed, but just slightly speed up. Now, a good exercise to do, once you get used to playing that, do it with a metronome or with a beat, or you can go on YouTube and just type in metronome and you'll get a continuous beat for ages, or you can download an app, if you don't have a metronome there. And try and keep it to time, so you can vary it slightly as well. So you can keep it in, with quarter notes as we'd call them. So if you're in 4/4 time, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could do 8th notes, so you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so on and so on. So as you get better at guitar and more confident, you can start to vary the exercise a little bit. So there's that one to start with. Now you can go backwards as well, so you can go all the way down and backwards, but the important thing is that every note sounds nice and clean. So go as slowly as you want, and go for quality rather than quantity. So don't try and shred it straight off. Try and just kind of get the notes nice and clean and work your way up to doing it. Okay, next one. I'm going to go diagonally. So the same idea, but what you do, 1, 2, 3, 4 is before. I'll do that again, so I think I'm slightly out of shot. There we go. And then the 2nd fret, and then you start at the 3rd fret, and you kind of do it like that. So okay, and then you can go backwards. Like that. And again, when you're starting it, do it really slow. And just kind of work your way up, because this one's a little bit trickier, because you're moving diagonally, so it feels a bit weird as you go. And especially on the way back, you might find yourself kind of ending up here. You might get a little lost if you've missed a fret. But nice and slowly. And then you can start to speed up as you get more fluid with it. And all these exercises, do them in front of the TV, do them as you're reading your emails as well, because it's about muscle memory. The secret to guitar playing is muscle memory. So you're not thinking too much as you play, you're just playing. Okay, last exercise on this section I'm going to show you a couple of quick strumming ones after that. Now this is slightly more advanced, so if you get bored with these ones, you can try this triad exercise. We've got our major scale, like that, okay, so that's very familiar. And a major chord, say G, for example, is made up of 3 notes from that scale, so G, B, and D, so it's the 1st note, the 3rd note, and the 5th note, okay? And that makes the 3 notes that kind of make that chord that you'd be familiar with. So what we're going to do is going to take those 3 notes out of each of these chords as we go. So we're going to go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and finish on G again. Okay, so don't worry about those note names just now. Just follow the dots. If you've got inlays on the side of your neck or on your neck itself, that's basically what you're following for this one. So 2nd finger goes on your 3rd fret, E string, like so. So we go 1, and then 1st finger, 2nd fret on the A string, and then your little finger on the 5th fret. Okay, so you got this pattern. Okay, so practice that for a bit, get used to that pattern. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move that pattern around. So let me show you. So 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then back to the 3rd fret, same thing. And then down to the D string, but we're only going to do it as far as the 5th fret. So basically what we've done is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. So again, nice and slow to start with, and keep that same pattern, and just move it around the neck, and that builds up a lot of finger strength and flexibility. So when you come to do things like bar chords, you know, of different types, they'll be a lot easier because your hands will be stronger and a bit more fluid. You can crack on with those. Let me just show you a couple of quick strumming exercises just to finish off. So one of the things that guitar players, especially when they're starting out, find most difficult is strumming. They get the chords down, but strumming's still a bit of a problem. Requires a bit of coordination, a bit of timing. An easy way to practice it is stick a playlist on. Doesn't matter what style, just your favourite stuff or just random, just shuffle on Spotify, whatever. Mute your strings with your hand like so, so the strings are effectively dead, sounding like that. And then use your guitar as a percussion instrument. So you take your pick and you just strum along with the song. So try and not to think about it too much. Try and do it as if you're tapping the wheel, you know, your steering wheel, or tapping your chair or your desk, like you would do absent-mindedly. And you just want to sit and do that for a good 5 or 10 minutes, and it just loosens up the strumming hand. It kind of trains your brain to kind of recognize rhythms as well. You know, just kind of sit, whatever the rhythm is, but keep it going, keep it relaxed, and try not to think about what you're playing. Again, it's bypassing the brain, going into muscle memory. And that's probably the easiest way to do it. Another variation you can do on that is, again, get a metronome on YouTube, or a drum loop on YouTube is probably better. If you there's quite a few videos of guys just playing drums for like 10 minutes, playing different time signatures, different tempos. So stick one of those on, and then pick 2 chords, and again just strum along with the drums. Just so maybe we pick G and A minor. And sit and do that for 5 minutes. So you make up your own chord sequence, and you just play along with that steady beat and kind of keep it going. And now, if you combine that with the fingering exercises I just showed you, and then you can make your own ones up as well. Just make sure there's repetition involved, and that the notes you're playing are equal in volume, and they're nice and clean as you're playing. That, you know, you can make your own thing up. If you do those exercises, you'll find, as you start to move on to more complex songs, or even just playing the ones you already know, it'll become a lot easier because you'll have addressed the physical aspect of playing guitar. So I hope that's been useful. Thanks very much for your time, and just keep practicing. See you later.
And that was Graham Campbell with his last lesson of the acoustic guitar with this Live in the Living Room Teachers. Thank you so much, Graham, for teaching us all about the acoustic. Be sure to give him a follow on his socials, which are just below. Welcome next on the show is Jackson Lake. Here he is with Battles.
In the heat of the moment, at the break of the day, we can count our own misfortunes, we can drown out the pain. At the bottom of a bottle, we keep our courage safe. And even though we're not looking, it'll find us someday. I've been trying to catch fire. I've been saving up my sins, fighting battles that I didn't need to win. chances we didn't take. We hold on for survival, like it's the only way. And when I think I've seen the light, I know the shadows follow close behind. Well, I've been trying to catch fire. I've been saving up my sins, fighting battles that I didn't need to win. I didn't need to win. I didn't need to win. Sunlight on the water is the hope in a brand new day. I may not always see clearly, but I'll always find a way.
That was Jackson Lake with Battles here on Live in the Living Room. Absolutely brilliant. Be sure to give Jackson a follow on his socials, which are just below. Well, coming up next is the amazing part of the show, which I'm so excited about. Yes, it's Kaleb Scherer's first Live in the Living Room new releases.
Howdy y'all, my name is Kaleb Scherer, and this is the September releases from Live in the Living Room. First up we got the new single, Fit to Love by Tennessee Twin. Now we got the new album from Jack Browning called Red Eyed Radio. Next up we got the timeless steel guitar on Dave Sutherland's single, Dear John. We've got the single Strongest of Bonds from Linda Conway. Next up we got the amazing vocal harmonies from my friend Sarah Louise featuring Pat Fillet on their single Part of the Story. And back again on new releases, we have Leaving Over Morrow's Springsteen-esque single Lover's Heart. Now we got the Texas rock anthem of Rodeo Reds by Copperhead Jones. Next up we have the very clever hook of Heart Lesson by Joey Green. The self-titled album from Rio Tripiano perfectly rides the lines between rock, Americana, and country music. Next up we got the debut single from Pat Fillet, Me, Myself, and I. Now we got the classic Texas country sound with the new single from Tyler Gills, Being from Texas Ain't Hardly Fair. This next single is a song that kicks back against the status quo. It's Cowgirl Cliche by Misty Dawn. The next single is from Ashley Ann, and it's for all those genuine Texas women. It's called She Ain't Texas. The stunning vocals from Eddie and the Getaway are on full display on their new single, Don't Pray For Me. I Could Get Used to This. It's the new single from Cody Coes. I was thinking the same thing while I listened to it. Song dedicated to all those Southern boys. We have Hallie's Southern Boys. Next up we have the soulful country rock and blues from the self-titled EP of Jason Adamo. I love this raw and honest song from Phil Hamilton, Rock Bottom Whiskey. Lost Highway is the new single featuring the classic Y2K country sounds of Dusty Motes. and listen to the wonderful harmonies of 2K and Ryan on their new single, Time to Heal. Next up, we have Amelia Quinn's new single, Mr. Shame. Next up, we have the polished harmonies from the Southern Gothic on their new single, Dreaming Big in a Small Town. Once again, my name is Kaleb Scherer, and this has been the new releases for September on Live in the Living Room. I'll see y'all next month.
That was Kaleb Scherer with the new releases here on Live in the Living Room. Be sure to give every single one of them a follow and check them out. So good, so much great music here on Live in the Living Room. Well, be sure to give Kaleb a follow. Again, his socials are just below. Right now is our final song of the show. Here is the amazing Bobbie-Jo Pritchard with Don't Die With Me.
I've been watching the spark dim from your eyes while you're seeing things from the other side. Chasing the air that she left behind, and I can see it now. You're paralyzed, and I can't hear her say, don't ruin this chance you've been given. I'll never say it's easy.
That was Bobbie-Jo Pritchard with Don't Die With Me. That's actually going to be released on the 6th of October, so make sure you get that pre-saved and pre-ordered right now. Absolutely amazing, amazing song there. Great artist as well. Be sure to give her a follow on her socials, Bobbie-Jo Pritchard, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Well, it's not even Twitter anymore, is it? It's changed to X, so give her a follow. Well, thank you all for joining me today on this episode of Live in the Living Room. It's been so great. It's been full of so many wonderful artists, so be sure to give them all a follow. Be sure to give us a subscribe as well as clicking the bell just so you don't miss on any future content. And remember, we have our Live in the Living Room Gives Back event, so make sure you head on over to our socials, Live in the Living Room, just below, and give us a follow on there as well, and check out those tickets for the Live in the Living Room Gives Back event. As always, thank you to everybody behind the scenes. Thank you to Kirsty Krause, Jess T. We've got brand new Kaleb Scherer, as well as Linda Conway, and everybody else, including the man, the myth, the legend. It's James Vince, the man behind Live in the Living Room. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of September, and we'll see you in October. Bye for now.
Life is a funny old thing. Can make you cry all night, can make you dance and sing.